Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultan of Oman television. First, the headlines. United Nations envoy to Yemen warns against exacerbated situation in Yemen and calls upon negotiation parties in Kuwait to resolve the disputes. In Iraq, 2 suicide bombings claimed by Daesh kill about 25 people in Baghdad and Taji. And tourists visiting the Sultan increased to more than 500,000 in the first quarter of the year. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Professor Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa of the Portuguese Republic on the occasion of his country's National Day. United Nations envoy in Yemen, Ismail Weld Sheikh Ahmed, urged conflict parties in Yemen to consider the exacerbated situation and effects resulted from that. He warned against bad results that may evolve from the current situation, expressing his belief the participants in Kuwait consultations were capable to change the situation in Yemen. Yesterday's talks between the UN envoy and the 2 Yemeni sides tackled issues of Houthis, withdrawal, handing in weapons and mechanisms of bringing points of view closer. 2 suicide bombings that killed about 25 people in Baghdad today were claimed by Daesh, whose stronghold of Fallujah near the capital is surrounded by the Iraqi forces, which are now advancing on the city. Daesh said one attack was carried out with a car laden with explosives and the second with an explosive vest. A police officer said a suicide car bomb had targeted a commercial street of Baghdad, Al Jadida, or New Baghdad, in the east of the capital, killing 17 people and wounding over 50. A man wearing an explosive belt blew himself up at a checkpoint near the barracks of Taji, just north of Baghdad, killing 7 soldiers and wounding more than 20. Iraqi forces began an offensive against Fallujah 50 kilometers west of Baghdad on May 23rd after a series of deadly bombings hit districts of the capital. The troops yesterday began advancing against the militants inside the city after completing its encirclement last week. Israeli today imposed a series of sweeping restrictions on Palestinian movement and deployed hundreds of additional troops to the West Bank in response to a Tel Aviv attack that killed 4 Israelis. The shooting carried out by 2 West Bank Palestinians targeted a crowded tourist and restaurant district in the heart of the Tel Aviv and was among the deadliest. The area is located across the street from the Israeli military's headquarters. Earlier today, defense officials suspended 83,000 of special permits given to Palestinians to visit relatives in Israel during the current Muslim holy month of Ramadan. In addition, the military said it had frozen Israeli work permits for 204 of the attackers' relatives and was preventing Palestinians from living and entering the West Bank village of Yatta, the attackers' home village. The military were also making preparations to demolish the family homes of one of the attackers. A French army spokesman said French special forces are advising rebels on the ground in northern Syria in an offensive against Daesh militants for control of the border town of Manbij. Meanwhile, US-backed Syrian Democratic Forces today closed all major roads leading to Manbij, a surrounding stronghold of Daesh militant groups, and surrounded it from 3 sides. The town is one of the largest areas held by Daesh in the northern Aleppo province. Many of its residents fled in advance of the upcoming battle. Manbij is a waypoint on Daesh supply line between the Turkish border and the extremist group's de facto capital, Raqqa. The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said that since the offensive began on May 31st, 132 Daesh militants, 21 Syrian Democratic Forces fighters and 37 civilians have been killed. US-backed Syrian Democratic Forces close all major roads leading to Manbij stronghold of Daesh militants. Still to come in a news bulletin. The Sultan's population by the end of May reached 4.4 million. The number of tourists who visited the Sultan during the first quarter of the year rose by 5% compared to the same period last year. They amounted to 570,000 tourists. A statistical bulletin issued by the Ministry of Tourism showed that a number of Asian and Arab tourists increased, occupying the second and fourth places of the list of visitors to the Sultan. The number of guests at 3- and 5-star hotels were increased by 18.5%, reaching 476,382, topped by European, GCC, Asian and Omani guests. The revenues of these hotels decreased by 7% due to the rise in the number of rooms and hotel apartments and the drop in prices. Forts and castles were the most attractive tourist sites during the first quarter of the current year, were visited by 100,650 visitors, with an increase by 14.5%. The water ponds in Wadi Bani Khalid came second, recording more than 36,000 visitors, with an increase by 16%. Al Jabal Akhdar visitors reached 24,550 visitors, recording a decrease by 11%. Oman oil prices August delivery reached $48.90. Dubai Mercantile Exchange said that the price of Oman oil rose 62 cents from the price of yesterday, which was $48.28. The average price of Oman oil June delivery 2016 has stabilized at $39.40, thus $3.06 per barrel higher than May delivery 2016. Muscat Securities Market Index decreased by 1.7%, closing at the level of 5,886 points. The value of trading amounted to more than 4 million Omani Riyals, dropping by around 26.45% compared to last trading session. The market value also decreased to around 17 billion Riyals. The buying value of non-Omanis amounted to 617,000 Riyals, while the selling value of non-Omani reached by 427,000 Omani Riyals. The total population of the Sultan by the end of last May amounted to more than 4,441,000 people, of which Omanis represent 2,421,000, while expatriates reached 2,020,000 people. Latest statistics issued by the National Center for Statistics and Information pointed out that more than a quarter of population concentrated in the governorate of Muscat, with 1,395,000 people. The governorate of Worcester recorded less number of population, with 43,350 people. And the city of Havana was designated one of the 7 wonder cities of the world on Tuesday, awarded by the Swiss Foundation New 7 Wonders. The wonder cities were chosen by popular vote online by a million of people. The list includes La Paz, Bolivia, Doha, Qatar, Durban, South Africa, Beirut, Lebanon, Beijing, Philippines, and Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The choice of the 7 wonder cities was the third vote promoted by the New 7 Wonders Foundation, which previously chose 7 monuments and 7 nature wonders of the world. Since 1982, its historic center has been recognized as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, and due to reconstruction efforts led by city historian Eusebio Leal, it's become a major tourist attraction. Here now are the Ramadan timings for tomorrow. Fajr prayers will be at 3:52 a.m. and Maghrib prayers at 6:58 p.m. And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultans. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar, and rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of clouds over the Hajar Mountains. Low clouds late at night and early morning are expected along the coast of the Arabian Sea. Winds will be northeasterly light to moderate over the coastal areas of Sea of Oman, while it will be southwesterly light to moderate over the coastal areas of the Arabian Sea. Rest of the Governorates, it will be southerly to southwesterly light to moderate, and seas will be slight along the coastal areas of Sea of Oman and Governorate of Musandam, with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters, while along the coastal areas of the Arabian Sea it will be rough with a maximum wave height of 3 meters. This is the Sultan of Oman Television, before tonight's bulletin. The main points once again. The United Nations envoy in Yemen warns against the exacerbated situation in Yemen and calls upon negotiation parties in Kuwait to resolve their disputes. In Iraq, 2 suicide bombings claimed by Daesh killed about 25 people in Baghdad and Taji. And tourists visiting the Sultanate increased to more than 500,000 in the first quarter of the year. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, good night.